Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Islamic Economic Series. So today, we're going to tackle a really fundamental question, one that pretty much shapes our entire financial lives. Every single economic decision we make, from the job we choose to what we buy at the store, it's all driven by some kind of underlying goal. But have you ever really stopped and asked yourself, what is that goal? What's the real point of it all? To get to the bottom of this, let's first check out the answer you'd get from modern conventional economics.
Okay, so the secular worldview, which is pretty much the foundation of modern economics, gives a very clear-cut answer here. It really frames our whole economic purpose around one big idea: materialism.
So, what is materialism, really? At its core, it's this idea that our happiness is basically tied directly to what we can buy and own. The more stuff you have, the happier you'll be. In this way of thinking, wealth isn't just a part of success, it is the ultimate measuring stick for a successful life. And, this kind of thinking, it sets off a pretty logical chain reaction. Think about it. If getting wealthy is the main goal, well, that naturally leads to consumerism, right? This constant drive to get more and more things. And that, in turn, leads straight to hedonism, where the pursuit of your own personal pleasure becomes the highest good, the most important thing in life. And hedonism, it's not just some abstract philosophical thing. It has a super practical role in economics. It's often talked about as the consumer's number one goal, to maximize their own utility, basically their satisfaction. And how do you do that? Simple, by consuming more and more and more.
Right, and this way of thinking has a huge implication. See, if this life is all you've got, then the whole economic game becomes a race against the clock. The goal just becomes getting as rich as you possibly can, as fast as you possibly can, because death is seen as the absolute end. It's all about packing in as much worldly pleasure as you can before your time runs out.
Okay, so that's one perspective. But now let's pivot and look at the Islamic worldview, because it presents a fundamentally different and honestly a much more complete aim in life, an aim that goes way beyond just the material world.
So, in total contrast, the ultimate goal in Islam is something called Al-Falah. And this isn't just about being successful in this world. It's so much bigger than that. It means achieving well-being and success in this life as a way to earn Allah's pleasure, which, you guessed it, leads to eternal happiness and the hereafter. It's this beautiful connection between our actions here and now and our ultimate eternal destiny.
And this verse from the Quran, wow. It just perfectly captures the balanced approach of Islam. We're told to use the blessings Allah has given us to seek the home of the hereafter, right? But in the very same breath, we're reminded not to forget a rightful, lawful share of this world. So it's not about rejecting the world entirely. It's all about getting your priorities straight.
So that brings up a really important question, doesn't it? If Falah is the ultimate goal, then where does worldly success and wealth fit in? Is it a good thing, a bad thing? Well, the answer really lies in understanding its proper place in the grand scheme of things.
And the incredible scholar Imam Al-Ghazali actually gave us this amazing framework that really helps clarify how all the different parts of our life, and yes, that includes wealth, all work together to help us achieve Falah. Take a look at this. What's so fascinating here is that Imam Al-Ghazali specifically includes wealth. It's right there under provisions of external conditions, but look closely at where it sits. It's not at the very top, and it's definitely not the only thing on the list. It's placed right alongside spiritual things like faith and good character, physical things like health, and, this is key, the ultimate provision of divine guidance, or hidayah.
And this, right here, is probably the most important takeaway. In Islam, wealth itself isn't a bad thing. In fact, it can be a massive blessing. What is condemned is materialism. That's the ideology that gets it all backward, mistaking the tool for the final destination. Wealth is just a means to an end, a tool to achieve a much higher purpose. It's not the purpose itself.
Okay, so to really drive this home, let's put these two completely different worldviews side by side. You'll really see the stark contrast in how they define our economic purpose.
I mean, just look at the comparison. The differences are absolutely fundamental. The secular aim, it's all about piling up wealth as the end goal, and it's totally focused on this world, and this world only. Now the Islamic aim, it's al-Falah, pleasing Allah. The horizon is this world and the hereafter. And wealth, it's just a means to that end, with our motivation being worship and a sense of responsibility, not just pure self-interest.
So at the end of the day, it leaves us with a really powerful question to think about for our own lives. What is our ultimate purpose? When it comes to our finances, our careers, is wealth the final destination we're driving to? Or is it just the fuel for a much bigger, much more meaningful journey toward Al-Falah? It's a deep question, for sure, and I really hope this explainer gave you some clarity. If it did, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, and as always, see you in the next one. Subscribe, like, and comment.